my stay in a psychiatric care facility 2 years ago. I'm Jessica. I run the Glow Up Space. I go live every single night at 9 p.m. PST, working on raising mental health awareness, breaking the stigma, and spreading hope. I hope to see you there soon. Right now, I'm doing a series about my experience staying in a psychiatric care facility or an inpatient unit because I was really scared when I went, and I would like people to know a little bit more about it so that it's less scary. So let's jump in. In my last video, I told you about how I had asked my husband to take me to the ER because of an attempt. When I got there, I let them know what had happened. I'm not going to go into that detail here. TikTok doesn't allow you to go into that detail here. But they went through a series of questions. There's a risk screener they go through. There's 6 different questions that they'll ask you, yes or no questions. Based upon your score in that, they'll decide whether or not there's a risk involved. In my case, it was flagged as a high risk, and they connected me with a social worker who came in and did a more thorough intake and evaluation of the situation. She recommended that I do go to inpatient, and at that point, she filled out paperwork to put me on an involuntary hold, which is kind of ironic because I arrived there voluntarily and would have voluntarily gone, but just based upon the legal criteria, that's what needed to happen. My husband was there with me. We needed to wait in the ER. I found a bed. You don't get to pick what facility you go to. They just look for a place with open beds. Fortunately, I got put in the place that I wanted to be put in, but that doesn't always happen. A lot of places are full and have wait lists. While I was waiting in the ER, they emptied the room of all things. There was nothing in the room. Everything was taken out, and that's a safety precaution. They had me change into a gown, and then they had a security guard that came and basically took all of my stuff, my clothes, because I was wearing the gown, so they took like my regular clothes. They took my phone. Actually, no, they did let me have the phone in the ER. I got to keep my phone in the ER, but then later I had to give it up at inpatient. They even took my rings, and that really was rather upsetting to me that even in inpatient, like I wasn't going to be allowed to have my wedding rings, that I was required to take them off. That just feels wrong to me, but I understand that they're really just trying to minimize all possible issues. So I get it, but also it stinks. And basically I just had to wait. And unfortunately, when you're admitted to an ER waiting to go to a psych unit, when you do get transferred, you get transferred via ambulance. And that was something that was really scary to me. My husband wasn't going to be able to go with me. I was going to have to ride alone. That freaked me out. That felt very uncomfortable and frightening. I was scared. I was scared for the experience. I had heard that you would be strapped into the gurney. They could do a 5-point lock-in, but this was a 3-point lock-in, and they were pretty nice. They let me bring this guy with me. I actually remember they felt that I was doing a good job following instructions, so they unclipped my arms and let me hold this wonderful pillow, which there's a story about this once we get to inpatient, but in the ambulance ride, I got to hold it. So in our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about that ambulance ride.